A matchup on match day 28 between Sevilla and Athletic Club at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. García Pimienta and Ernesto Valverde. Two teams who have aspirations of Europe in their own way, but one team who has had a much better season, and that is Athletic Club, although both sides struggled in this one. This was less a tale about going for goal and more a tale about making sure that you don't commit the bad mistake that leads to the goal. And this is exactly what it ended up being. There was one goal, and it did come from a bit of a mistake. The first half did not supply any of that for us, although there was this very weird moment with Urian Nieland and Iñaki Williams. A free kick was given at the edge of the box after Nieland grabbed the ball outside of the penalty area. He was setting up for a kick, and then he felt some pressure behind him, although nobody touched him. It's a really strange moment, and he was lucky in that sense to get away with only a yellow card and no penalty. Instead, it was a free kick, and it was Alex Berenguer who struck the crossbar. Beautifully taken, just slightly elevated. Nieland would have a few more moments in this game. That was a big one for Athletic Club to try and go in front. They would continue in the first half looking for their opportunity to break through. There was also this chance too, as Djibril Sow lofted it across the face of goal for Saul, and Saul's effort probably needed to be a bit better. He would want it back, and the follow-up effort was comfortable for Unai Simon as well. It was Simon who made the save on Saul. It was hit pretty much right at him, although Yeray on the first effort there to step in. So would pick up a yellow card shortly thereafter, and that means that he will not be available for the game after the international break against Betis, so Gran Derby. So will not be playing in that one. We would continue on with several big names watching on in attendance from Sevilla's perspective, and they struggled to break through the lines in this game. They were playing a lot of it in their own half, although this was one occasion that also proves when you get the ball up to Dodi Lukebakio, good things can happen. This was a half a chance for Sevilla at best. It's really what most of their night ended up looking like, half chances like that one. Well defended as Yeray got in the way of Lukebakio across. Saul later on slipping it through, looking for Isaac Romero, who could not get into the game as their number 9 today. And it would come back out to probably one of the other brightest elements of Sevilla's first half, Chidera Ejuke, who in this case could not find the target. Sevilla entering this game on 36 points, 3 points back of 8th place. Athletic Club with plenty of wiggle room in the top 4. Here is Ejuke jumping on an opportunity, although he went to ground way too easily in this instance. So much so that Unai Simon was calling for a potential simulation card. It was not given, and Ejuke just ends up getting away with it. Further on in the first half, right before halftime, this was where we had our moment. There was a big call for a handball, and the replay would confirm that Saul went up, and as he was fighting with Unai Nunez, you can see his arm clearly makes contact with the ball, and that being quite an unnatural position, there was no other decision for Pulido Santana. He sees exactly what we all saw, and Athletic Club awarded a penalty just before halftime. In fact, it was stoppage time of the first half. With no Oyan Santhet, it was Mikel Vesga to step up and try and take the lead. And how about Nieland? When his team needed it most, it's a big stop to keep the game scoreless, and a chance missed for Athletic Club. Trying to get a victory on the road. Vesga Going to the keeper's right, Neeland predicting it correctly. It's not the best penalty, but it is a quality save. And then we would foray into the second half. And in the second half, Sevilla actually started the better of the two sides, thanks in part to Mr. Luca Bacchio, who forced a save out of Simon. Sevilla's electric winger, who always loves that shot there with his left foot. It's a difficult save, too, for Simon through a crowd. They kept coming, Sevilla. Luca Bacchio again slipping this through for Ejuke, who might have been able to lay this across the face of goal. Ejuke goes for goal himself instead, and it ends up costing him. You can see Isaac Romero was ready and willing to take this cross here, but Ejuke didn't pick his head up. Instead, it's a shot squarely into Unai Simon. Sevilla would keep on fighting, though, and Luca Bacchio's entrance here came back out, and again it was So, who needed to keep it down. It's part of his problem on the day. A couple of shots that he ended up skying over the bar. You see, it's one Sevilla attack after the other, and in the second half that made you believe that they were the team more likely to go ahead. Jose Angel Carmona ends up going for goal on the kickback feed from Luca Bacchio. Forces another save out of Simon. And that's when the triple change would come in for Athletic Club. Mikel Jaureguizar, Inigo Ruiz de Galarreta, and Nico Williams all come in. It was a swap that included the two holding midfielders to come out. And this one, we're not so sure if it was onside or not. Iñaki was unable to finish it, so it didn't matter in the end. The flag did come up afterwards. But there was a moment, you look at it again, it was very close. So you had to play it out just in case. That would be the end of the line for Ejuke, who was replaced by Ruben Vargas. Isaac Romero came off as well for Albert Sambi Lokonga. The Athletic Club made changes of their own. Marwan Sanadi would play an important role in this game. In a couple of key moments, including the deciding moment of the game. He was a part of it as Vargas immediately got involved and was looking for a cutback. It was good keeping from Simon, and then we mentioned So trying to keep the ball down. It just didn't happen. Athletic Club trying to put up a clean sheet for the first time in 7 games in all competitions. But they were also looking for a goal, and this is exactly what Nico Williams does best. He's able to turn and get going downhill. The only thing that was missing right at the end was the last moment. He went for the shot after blowing by Carmona. It's going to be a difficult task to finish off that play either way. Then Nico would look for the chip in over the top, and there was Marwan to head it back into play. Turns out that he too was deemed to be offside, but again, based on a lingering foot by Quique Salas, we weren't 100% sure. Here goes Marwan again with a back heel clip that found Iñaki Williams. And Neeland is again forced to make a save. This is probably his most impressive save of the day to keep it scoreless. This is Marwan beginning to shine with that pass. Good control by Nico, able to put it on target. Just a fine save from the Sevilla keeper. The ensuing corner resulted in a kickback effort from Ruiz de Galarreta, but we were searching so hard for the goal itself. First, Djibril Sow came out and was replaced by A couple of different Sevilla players who came in late, Ekor Adams and Didumbo. That late yellow card for Agume, and here comes the goal, and it's courtesy of Yeray Alvarez. Came off of a set piece, a foul that allowed Alex Berenguer to put in another one of his brilliant pinpoint crosses. And the credit goes to Alvarez for the goal, but you also have to give credit for Sanadi, who was right in front of him. Marwan ducks his head down and lets Yeray take over. Marwan knew that it was out of his reach. How about Alvarez? With his first goal since February of 23 against Cadiz in La Liga, he puts Athletic Club in front, and for the second time in a week, it is a defender scoring a go-ahead goal for Los Leones. One that would see them through to all 3 points, and you were wondering if Sevilla had one more answer in them. Of course, it had to be Dodi Lukebakio to try and create. That was one of the best chances, as Lukebakio just looped it back in, looking for Vargas, but it was just out of his reach. It wasn't going to happen on this day for Sevilla, and that's just been a tale of their season. They've had problems getting the results that they want, despite playing, in this case, 83 minutes of very solid football. Berenguer collected his 9th assist of the season. The goal from Yeray is the difference in the game. Athletic Club get the win. On the road, they beat Sevilla at the Sanchez Pizjuan. It ends Sevilla 0, Athletic Club 1.